Hello, my name is Eyal Herzog and I want to tell you a little bit about Bancor today. And Bancor is a project in the blockchain space. And let's have a short review. What is so special about blockchain? Why is it different? So the way that we like to explain it is that we had the internet, which was a big revolution on transferring information. It's very useful tool for transferring information. However, it's not useful for transferring value, because transferring value requires a database, and the internet is a communication network. So we used, in order to transfer value, we use cash, and we use all those big institutions like banks, and banks are holding the ledger, the database of what is moving, what value is moving from anyone to anyone. And that was the only solution until 2009, that for the first time we had the first blockchain, the first decentralized currency that was in effect the first database, the first solution for transferring value, which is decentralized and does not need a central location. From these days, a lot happened, and what we have today is what we call blockchain 2.0. Blockchain 2.0 is what we're seeing today with a system like Ethereum that really enable not just to move numbers between one account to another, but actually allow to build software, to create currencies that are programmable. And since that time, we've seen a lot of new currencies, a lot of new ventures that are based on different currencies and that issue their own currencies. Companies like BAT, Golem, Gnosis, to name a few. And it is a very interesting model that Ethereum uses itself for what they call the initial token sale, the token generation event. And the token generation event is this moment where the first tokens are being sold to the public. This is how Ethereum started, and the first token was sold for 30 cents a token, and today it's about $300 a token. So it can be very profitable for those who invest in ventures that are working. Now, what is so different about Ethereum? Ethereum really allows you to create smart contracts, allows you to deploy code to the network, and this code would execute when it's accessed. It makes Ethereum something like a really big central computer, like a global computer. And what we are thinking about in this context is that right now, when everyone can create a currency, we want to be able to allow anyone to do so. And we're starting to see the phenomena of the long tail of currency in cryptocurrencies today. We see more and more currencies created every day because there is no barrier to create a currency. It's like what happened when we enabled blogging or sharing video. There was no barrier, so we saw a lot of companies like YouTube succeeding from the long tail of video, and Facebook groups from the long tail discussion groups, and Reddit from the long tail of mass user discussion and news groups. And we've seen those companies doing really, really well because they all got the long tail. The idea is that when you remove barriers, you're going to see a lot of creativity and a lot of users participating in the ecosystem. What we are building is essentially a system that makes it really, really simple for anyone to create its own token, to initiate a crowd sale, to use other tokens that other people created. It's very simple to create a token. It just requires to answer a few questions to a chatbot. It's really easy to set up a crowd sale, and by the end of the day, your token is listed, and people can use your token and send it to each other and hold it and pay with it. But the problem with all currencies is that they all have this thing which is very important, which is liquidity. So liquidity is what connects currencies to each other. When currency is liquid, or any asset is liquid, it means that you can convert it to be another asset. You can convert your dollars to euros because they are liquid. And this is exactly what we are solving with the ideas of smart token. A smart token is a token that takes care of its own liquidity. It does that by holding a liquidity pool which is owned by the entire group. And that liquidity pool grows whenever someone wishes to purchase the token, and this liquidity pool shrinks whenever someone is liquidating the token. So for example, the first smart token was launched actually a few days ago. It's Bancor network token, and it can be purchased with Ether simply by sending Ether to an address, and it can be liquidated back to Ether according to the price which is changing. The price is calculated by the token according to the activity of buying and selling of the token. The way that it works in the background is that we have a reserve ratio that is defined for every token. So if BNT, for example, holds an Ether reserve, the reserve ratio for BNT is 10%, meaning that whatever the value of all the BNT tokens in the world is, the reserve would be exactly 10% of that. This is mathematically solid because this is how the price is calculated by the token itself when it's allowed to buy or to liquidate the token to any user in the world. The way that it's calculated is using those formulas. Those formulas are, they may look complicated, but the basic formula is very simple. It means that the price is simply calculated as a function of the reserve, the supply, and the constant reserve ratio, which again in BNT case is 10%. Every user can track every buying and every selling of the token, which is done through the blockchain. And with every buy and every sell, it is possible to see how the price changed. It is also possible to create tokens with multiple reserves, which makes it much more, I would say, it's very imaginative what you can do with that. For example, you can create a decentralized ETF, a token that actually holds several other tokens in its reserves and is encapsulating the value of all those tokens. You can create what we call token changer, that we actually announced that we are about to do with Gnosis, which is a token that have two reserves and being used in order to allow anyone to convert Gnosis to Ether or Ether to Gnosis, and that can be done with existing tokens. So this system of Bancor protocol and the smart token does not only work for those new tokens, it's actually backward compatible and works with any existing ERC token. So this is a very short review on Bancor Network. I would encourage you to go and check our website, our Twitter, our blog. There's a lot of information. We are always there to answer questions, and I hope you enjoy the presentation. Thank you very much.